Hi, I'm Medaska. Welcome. I will now walk you through how to quickly put together a timed exam. So I'll walk you with the instructions on how to quickly put together a timed exam. So I'm in my Blackboard shell, and this is College Math 1, but I'm in my Blackboard shell, so it's empty. There's nothing in here. I'm just going to start from scratch. So I'll show you how to go through and create an example exam. So I'll scroll down here to Course Tools, click on Course Tools. I will scroll down to the bottom to Tests, Surveys, and Pools. Tests, Surveys, and Pools. I will click on Tests, Surveys, and Pools, and I'll walk you through quickly what each is. Tests is where we'll go, so we will create a test for this class, and again, it could be for any class that you'll be working on. Surveys are a good way to basically just to gather info from students, what's working, what's not working. They're not graded, and again, everything's anonymous, so that's a good possibility for you as an instructor to gather info. Finally, the last link on this page is Pools. That would be a set of questions probably that you get from your publisher that you would upload here and create a test from. That being said, right now this is an empty shell, so I will go in and I will click on Tests. There are no questions that have been uploaded to Pools. So I will go here, and then from here I will click on Build Test. So I'll create a brand new spanking test. And we will name it Brand New. See a little crazy. Description, this will describe whatever whatever information you want to put together about a test. Alright, so I'll just put in description since this is an example. Down here underneath that will be the instructions text box. And notice all the buttons that are available. You can embed video, you can go through, you can upload any pictures, you can link out to websites, whatever you need to, you can post in here. But for this case, we'll just keep it simple. Instructions, I will type in instructions. We'll scroll down to the bottom and click on the submit button. So this is step one in creating an exam. You will basically just create the shell, set it up. It will bring you to this page. And notice you see a success brand new created. So I've created a exam called brand new. This is the test canvas. In the test canvas for my exam named brand new, I have a bunch of options. I have create questions, which we'll go through and do. I'll show you how to quickly go through just a few of them. And then these are all the types of questions: calculate formula, essay questions, fill in the blank, matching questions, multiple answer, multiple choice, ordering, true, false. So again, you could type in and create by hand any type of questions you so choose. Reuse questions. In here we can create a question set, which would be a group of questions that you can reuse. You can create a random block. That would be that'll be a different video that I do, but a random block would basically put together, say, 20 questions, and each student would get, let's say, 5 out of the 20. So they would get different questions based on randomization of the questions. And then finally, find questions. In the previous section, when we were in pools, this is where you would go and find the questions that were in each of the pools. Also, another option would be to upload questions. This again would be you get a zip file from your publisher, upload them here, and you can utilize this. Or if it had an external test maker, let's say if you were using Pearson or McGraw-Hill, you can click on that and you would upload the exam as you created it in the external test maker. But for argument's sakes and to go through, since this is a intro video, we will go create question, and I will create a true-false question. So I click on true-false question. I will go over here. I will create the title. All right, I'll say 1, 2, 3. The question text is what order, let's say, what number comes first? And I'll say number 2. Okay, there's my question. You could change how you want the answers to appear. Answer in this case is always assumed to be true. In this case, it'll be false, so I'll click on false. Okay, correct response feedback. You could type in any information you wanted here. So I'll put in info again. And then incorrect response, if you wanted, you could type in information here, or you could leave both blank and grade it later. So you would scroll down here to categories. You could add whatever category it was from your text, whatever topics was being covered. The level of difficulty, all right, we'll put this and say easy so that they can see. So now it's been added as easy, and you could put any keywords. If you wanted to put in, say, number line, click OK. These are all examples that you can add or not add at your choosing. Notice I only put 2 in. I could have put all 4 or 0. Instructor notes, I can add any instructor notes here. Then at the bottom, what I would do is I can submit and create another. I could cancel if I wanted to restart, or I could click on submit if I'm done. This is only going to be a 1-question exam. I'll submit and create another, so I'll do 1 more question. This is why I could show you a 2-question exam. Question title, all right, this would be true, false. So we would say question 2. Oops. We'll click on this. Again, as you see, it comes with spell check as you're typing through. 11 comes after 10. True or false? All right. We'll keep that as vertical. Again, you can change it. The answer is true. I will leave the feedbacks open. I will not put in any categories nor instructor notes, and then I will submit. So now I have 2 true-false questions. So as you see, there's question true, false 1, 2, 3, and then question number 2. These are the first 2. I will put in created question, and I will do I'll do a fill in the blank question. Let's try that. And there's a bunch of different question types. Feel free to go to Blackboard. They have a bunch of videos on how to create them. I'll type in this question 3. All right, the question text is, we'll say, since this is college math, we shall say Venn diagrams are used for set theory. Okay. And we'll come in over here, and I'll replace what would have been the answer set theory. And I could put in answers here. All right. There's my set theory. Oops, be nice if I spelled it right. There's my set theory. Case sensitive, you could check or uncheck it. Number of answers. Okay, so you could have all different types of matches, and either contains or pattern matches, whichever you choose. I will put in simply contains. The more exact it is, the more difficult it is, and also you have to go and possibly grade this by hand as well. I will put in 0 feedback, 0 incorrect. Again, not put any categories or notes, and I will submit. And I will have my 3rd question on this test. So there's my 3 questions. Once they are done, you have basically 3 questions. As up here, you have 30 points. Let's say if I wanted to make this a 100-point exam, I would do the following. Select all, change it to 33.33 points, hit update, and it'll basically round out to 99.99, so basically 100 points for the exam. Once you're done and you're set up with your point scale, you're set up with your questions, you would go down and click OK. You have a brand new exam that you have set. Now what you need to do is you basically need to launch your exam. So you would come over here. I'll put it under assignments since assignments already exist. So I'll click on assignments. I will go to assessments and test. So I'll go to assessments and test. There's the test that I just created. Click on brand new, or you could create a test from scratch if you wanted to here, but it's much easier just to click on do your test first, then launch your test. So I click on brand new, I hit submit. I'm going to scroll down. It's going to have information that I need to go in there. There's basically my description. So again, I typed in description before, so it's telling me what the test is, some of my options. Show test description before students begin the test. Usually I click this off. Same thing with the instructions. Show before they begin. Open test in new window. I have no. I usually use no. If you want to use yes, that's fine. Make available to students. You would click on yes if you wanted to make it available. Also, if you were going to schedule it, you would need to make it available. So you would have to hit yes for this. So I'll hit yes just to show you. Add a new announcement for this test. I will hit yes so it will populate at the top over here by announcements. So they would see it when the test went to live. This checkbox, if you want to allow multiple attempts, a specific number of attempts, and then if that's checked, then you would basically say which grade to utilize. Force completion, once started, this test must be completed in one sitting. So if I wanted to do that, I would click that off. Also set timer if I wanted to put a timer and give them 60 minutes. Let's say it's a 3-question test, so I'll give them 20 minutes. Now this auto submit basically says off, so if after 20 minutes they're not finished, they will have an opportunity to finish. If they are not finished and you put on, it will automatically submit the test after 20 minutes once they begin. Down here is where you can display it, when to display it and when to stop displaying it. It gives you dates and it gives you times. Checkbox here if you wanted to include a password. Normally I do not include a password, but you could if you wanted to. Test availability exceptions. So if you need someone who needs extra time, you would add an exception here by group or by user. But this is again is a separate video on how to exactly go through that. But options are available. Also due date. You would check off and put together a due date when you were ready. All right, by default, they usually want a due date. I'll leave the due date as now when I'm actually making it. Include in the test grade center. You absolutely should put in this there because it'll go into the grade center once the test actually is launched. Or you could hide it, but if you're creating a test, you're more than likely going to want that to show up in the gradebook. Scroll down. Show test results. You can show basically when you want to have it seen. I will put after attempts are all graded. Okay, and the checkbox here gives a score per question and then any of the answers that you want to show. And finally down here is test presentation. You could do it all at once. I usually do one at a time and I randomize questions. Also, if you want, you can check off prohibit backtracking so that once they're done, they must move on. Okay, so that's all set up, that's all timed, that's all put together. I hit submit. Once I hit submit, it'll bring me back to the assignments link, and then there's the brand new test that we have created. So that's just a quick video overview on how to create an exam, a timed exam, how to create it by typing in your own questions. Once again, my name is Rob Medaska, and I hope this helps out.